Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to continue with our blogify, and the main aim today, the first aim, will be to style our show page really well. Because until now, we have a really well styled home page, we have a well styled explore page, a well styled add post page, and similarly, we have a good styled comment page to add a comment, right? But evidently, our show page is not styled good enough, right? So let's just start with that. So I was thinking of some designs, and of course, the design entirely depends on you. So we are going to use a jumbotron, and we are going to use an image on which any text will be easily readable. So a good plain background kind of image, right? And so let's just start first, right? Great. So we had all of this until now, right? And we had this show page. So let's just start with that thing. So first of all, what I want to do is um, up here I'll make a jumbotron, right? And then what I'll do is I'll move this h1, not just this, the whole of this up into this jumbotron. And like always, what I'll do is I'll do deflex, align items center, justify content center. So let's refresh the page, and we get something like this. Great. So now let's look for a background image for this jumbotron, right? Okay, so we'll do that first. So I'll go to Unsplash, and let's search for something. So let's search for magnify. So I mean, you could choose any image here. Of course, that's not a problem. But I'm going to choose this one, and that's because any text will be visible over this easily, because most of it is a plain background, and even the part which is not a plain background is not going to hinder the readability of the text, right? So I'll do copy image address. Now in here, of course, to have something at the back of this, we'll have to include a custom style sheet, right? So I'll go in between them, and I'll do link rel style sheet, href style sheet slash, and this is the blog show page. So it will be the blogs slash, let's see our structure, right? And inside that we need show.css. Alright, something's going wrong in this. Alright, yeah. So great. So now we have linked the style sheet. Now we just need to add it, right? So inside the style sheets, what I'll do is inside the blogs, I'll create a new file called show.css. And the first thing which I'm going to do, like always, so that later we don't get into weird problems, is that I'll do h1 color green, and I'll refresh this page. Okay, so the color is green, means that they are connected successfully. Great. So now let's select our jumbotron, and let's do background image URL, and I've copied the URL, so I paste it here, right? Great. And the next thing that we need is the styling for the background, which is it always remains the same. So you can just do this whenever you are adding a background to the jumbotron. Background size cover. Let's refresh, and so first of all, we'll fix the fact that this is not centered in just a moment. But before that, I'll want this jumbotron to be a little bigger, because this image does not look good in any way right now. So maybe we'll change it, maybe we'll not. Let's see. So I'll do height, and this will be, let's say we'll make it 45 VH, right? Jumbotron height I like to do in VH, because that gives a good idea about the height already. Alright, so now let's center the image. So now that we've increased the height, I don't think this will look good even if we center the image. So let's look for something else, right? And something on which we'll get something readable, right? Um, and if we're not able to find, we'll, I think, eventually have to like leave it out, and we'll have to drop the idea of a jumbotron. Let's see how this one looks. I think it's actually not landscape. We'll switch to landscape. Okay, let's take this one. Let's try how this looks. And I'll go here, and instead of this URL, I'll paste this, and then I refresh. And this is not readable now. Let's change the color to still not readable. So I think we can for now drop the idea of a jumbotron because the image is not suiting. You know, the thing is that I would essentially spend some time to actually look for a good image, or I would just leave it out because there's not a really good image that we are finding here, right? We don't want to get a really big picture here, and every we are getting any photo of this kind of size. So let's just drop the idea of a jumbotron for now, and we'll do something else. I have something in mind. I was essentially hoping to do this with the jumbotron, but it'll work fine even without that. So what I have in mind is, first off, I'll make a container fluid. And when I'm making a container fluid, you must have guessed what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a grid, right? So I'm making a row, and next I'm making, first let's get a column 3 for now. And I think we could do 4, right? And inside this, what I'm going to get is a bootstrap card, right? So I'll do get bootstrap.com, documentation, components, and inside the components, I'll go to card. So I'll get this kind of card here, right? I'll copy this and I'll paste this inside this. So what exactly is this card for? This is actually just for the author, right? So we'll have, when we actually make the user schema, we'll have a profile image there too, right? So then we'll put the image source of profile image in here, right? But for now, when we don't have any profile image, let's just take some sample image. Let's search for let's just take this. I don't know what this is, and I don't even think that. All right, let's take this one. So I'll paste this in here. Great. And class and alt, let it be whatever they are, and alt let's change to profile picture. The card body, the title will be the name of the user, right? So currently I'll just do it Rondo. And the text will be a small description for the user, or let's say we'll ask for a description from them, right? About and something. So I'll do lorem 50. Let's see how this looks. And even though it is like not very well placed up here, and we have some weird things here too, but this looks good enough, and we could, in the end, we are going to like take a substring of that. So I'll do this, and now I'll refresh. I'll take it even less. Great. So now this would be the author card, and it doesn't look good yet because there's no spacing and there's a lot of weird content down here too. But the thing is that this author card by itself looks really good. If we just zoom into this will look good on our page, right? Alright, so I can leave this for now and I'll fix the styling later for the spacing later, right? So let's see what this div is for. This is for the container fluid, this is for the row, this is for the column. So now we need another column after this, which will be column, let's say, not let's say, it's of course 8 because we've already done 4. And inside this, let's paste all of this first, right? And we'll have to change this too, but I'm just doing this for now. Alright, let's refresh. And we get this, right? Great. So, I don't think this deserves a column 4. Let's see, keep it column 3. And we'll do a column 9 here. Now it looks really good. Excellent. So first off, this is looking very bad. Let's just fix the spacing, right? So let's select the body and let's select the container fluid. And what I'm going to do with the container fluid is I'm going to give it a margin of, I'll give 50 pixels and 0 pixels, right? Let's refresh. And now the spacing, I think, looks decent enough. We could like have 40 here, I guess. Let's see if that looks good. Right. So now we have a good enough margin on the top and right, this looks good. Great. So now let's start styling this side of the page, and when this is styled, this will look much better, right? So now let's go back here and let's see what all we have to do. So this actually looks good enough for now, I think, and the content will also go here. That will also look good. Currently the content is like this, that's why it's not looking really good because it is really small. So to test it out properly, let's first make a new post, right? Show page test. And for the content, what I'm going to do is I'll like down here, I obviously don't need it, but I'll do lorem 500. I'll do command A, command C. Well, I'll copy this, right? And I had to just copy this line. And let's hope only this has been copied this time, right? And copy, cut, I mean. So, and then I'll do paste. So now this is our content for the blog, and for the image, I'll just take some random image from here. Let's take this one. Let's paste it in. Add post. So now we are redirected to the Explore. And one error that you see here, that this is showing the whole blog. So this needs to be fixed, and we'll fix this later on, so don't worry about it, right? Or we should fix this first, I think, right? So let's just go to the index.ejs. And I know this is like we are deviating from the topic a little, but our index styling had already been done, so this is something that we should actually take care of. So in here I'll have to do dot substring, and then I'll do let's say 100. Refresh. Let's do 0, 100, right? And this gives us the first 100 letters. Let's change this to, let's say, 200. And if I refresh, this gives me the first 200 letters. And I think we can even work with 350 here. So now no matter how long the description is, we'll get the first 350 letters. And we're going to assume that we always have more than that. So I'll put a dot 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 here, right? So it now shows a dot dot dot, and like you can test this out. Great. So now let's first visit this page. And here you see we have the whole blog. So a large amount of content does look a little better, but I think we can add a little more padding and all to this, and this will look even better, right? So let's just close this index.ejs now, and inside the content we see that, all right, so we have a column 9, right? And inside it, let's just select the UL. All right. So and what is the UL for? So let's just select the paragraph inside the column 9, right? So I'll do that. So I'll do dot column 9 paragraph dot column 9 paragraph. Great. And I'll do padding, and I'll give like 20 pixels. Let's see how that works out. And it looks good on the sides, I think, but I think we could give it to the whole thing, right? Dot column 9. And I think it looks a little good. And one more thing we can do is we can do a border of, let's do a background color of the standard background color that I have, which is this. Refresh, I get this, and now I'll do a box shadow. So wherever there is a large amount of content, I actually like a box shadow, right? So I'll do 2 pixels, black. Let's see how that looks. And I think we should have a margin this side. So we have done margin here 0. So let's change this to 10, and let's see if that looks good. Refresh. So let's add a padding in here, right? So I'll add a padding 20 pixels. And now this looks even better because if we see here, we have something to like get the box shadow, and like even let's do this 40. Alright, so now it's even more compact and it looks like a really good, right? And you can see even the comments thing is looking a little on point here because we have the comments written down here, which is an H3, and below obviously the comments will not be styled really well yet if we add something, and I'll just do it. Add comment. So this does not look good yet, but we can style this to look good in just a moment. But for now, if we just see up till here, right, this page is actually well styled now, right? And I mean, it does look really good. So let's try this one more thing, right? Let's just move where is it? This thing outside the columns and the row inside the container fold. And I think this looks good too, and there's a lot of padding and margin up here. We'll just figure